Aloha! Welcome to all who are watching today, to all the Kupuna out there in Maui. This is our second show today of our Kupuna Smart Program series. Today I'm going to talk about some of the online skills such as searching for information, communicating online, and accessing some of your accounts such as if you have any email accounts, I'll show you how to set that up on the tablet today. If any of you have had any problems within the last week with your tablets, our phone lines have been open. Our tech support people are ready to answer your questions. Our phone number is 984-3583. When you give us a call, let us know your name, your tablet number, any particular concern you have about your tablet, or any feature that you feel that your tablet needs to have updated. So, my name is Keli Balau, and with all these different features we have a huge supportive team that is going to be there to support you with our Kupuna helpline. And today we're talking about the different online skills such as going on the internet and figuring out how to access the communication needs you have with accessing, scheduling appointments and all those things. You're going to need an email account. But first, let's talk about how we get onto the internet. The tablet itself has the Chrome browser, which is this little icon on your home screen. It could be here. If it's not there, it'll be in your app drawer under Chrome. All right? So, searching for anything on the internet requires us to know some keywords or some information that we want to figure out. For example, if somebody wants to look up anything about the campus, Maui College, we'll type in the words Maui College. Now, as I was typing in this menu here, you see this little grayed out area in your browser? Let's go back and I'll show you how you got that in. When you open your browser, it'll open up to whatever web page you last had. If you haven't used your browser before, let's see, you'll have a number that has different tabs that are open. For example, this tablet, I've been using it to look up different support websites that we've created for you guys. So you can see that these browser tabs are still here. This shows all the different websites that you've looked at previously. So if you have a lot of browser tabs in here, to close them, there's this little 3-dot button right here. Within the menus of the tablet, some of the consistent icons you'll see will be like a 3-dot button like there on the top, a plus sign, and an X sign. X means to close that window or to get rid of it. Now you can see there's 3 tabs open. The 3-dot button is what we call a sub-menu. So it's a menu of features that allow you to do other things that get a little bit more advanced. If you touch on that, you'll have a menu that pops up like that. Now this menu will show a list of different things depending on how you found it, right? So if we go back to the main browser, you see the 3 dots are still there. And you also see that there's a number 3. Previously it was 4, so that means there are 4 tabs open. So click that. Now you can see that the 3-dot menu shows up all these different other options, right? All these different things are different ways of using this particular browser. Mainly you want to be able to kind of figure out how to close it if it comes up. Click anywhere on the tablet screen and the menu will go away. Okay. With these particular tablets, the Chrome browser is your default internet browser. So an internet browser is anything that we use to access the World Wide Web. Modern days, everything that we do requires some form of connection to the internet. At the university, our campus has online courses. So the students go to class online. For Kupuna out there, you'll be accessing your services, meeting with your doctor online. You'll be meeting with your Kupuna your Kupuna program, such as Kaunoa. Some of those services will be done online. So all this information about being online also requires you to figure out how to figure out where you are within the searching of the work on the internet. So this little portal right here, like I said, is a search bar. The instructions on the screen says search or type your web address. So there's two types of things this web browser takes. Keywords, so like we said, if you want to learn about Maui, you can type in the word Maui. But as you can see, it changes to what we call a URL. The way I know that's called a URL, which is called it's also known as a website address, there's like dots in between the words, maui.hawaii.edu. Okay? You're going to see many websites. It'll be something.com, something.edu, .org. Those are different type of websites. But this bar tries to be helpful and figures out if this is the information you wanted to look up. So it does give you a list of information here of things that have Maui something attached to it. But see what happens when I push the space bar. Now you see the first suggestion in your drop-down here is the word Maui. What this is saying is, do you want to just look up the word Maui? So instead of having to keep typing, you can actually touch on the display and say, yes, that's the word I want to look up. Okay? That's right. Let's go. Okay, well, let's try something different. Let's go to google.com. Okay, so google.com, what I just typed in there, is a website address to get to what we call Google. Okay? Here is a similar box that you can use to type into. And then in this box, let's type in the word Maui. As the page loads, you'll have it's called what Google does is they try to put out the information that they think you want to figure out first. So the first thing they put up is perhaps a picture or some information about Maui. And if you scroll by touching the screen and dragging it down, so when I say scroll, you're using your fingers to touch the screen, and you're pushing the screen upwards to be able to see things that are below. It's kind of an opposite counterintuitive. So if on a browser, if you swipe up, you go to the bottom of the screen. You see there's more by swiping up. Swiping down brings you to the top of the web pages. Okay. And any of these links are going to be colored blue. And those are the things that you can usually click on that'll go to a specific web page. So for example, there's a Wikipedia page here. It says Maui-Wikipedia. If you click on that blue link, it'll go to the Wikipedia website and a particular article about Maui. Any of these pictures, you can probably click on that as well. So here is a picture of Maui right there. If we click on that picture, it also goes to that particular website. So because this is a touch interface, you're going to notice that there's a lot of things in the web page, for example here, that are blue. Now, if it's blue, that also means it's clickable. So when you're browsing, there's also a chance that you might accidentally click on a link that goes to the page that you don't want to go to, right? So how do we get out of that? So how do we go back to the other page that we were previously looking at? So this went to this other page, says list of islands by the United States by area. How do we go backwards? Well, one way is to use this three-dot menu. I think it doesn't show up that way. Oh, actually, I made a mistake. So actually, instead of using the three-dot menu to go back, you can actually use this button down here to go back to the previous things that you were clicking on. So there's a certain period of certain amount of links the browser remembers that you clicked on. And if you can remember how many times you want to go backwards, it'll kind of backtrack as well. So you can see I clicked it 2 times and went back to this main search window at google.com where I typed in Maui, right? Okay. Now, once again, if you have any issues with browsing, if there's any particular internet issues, you give us a call. Call us at 984-3583. Leave your name, your tablet number, a phone number, and kind of an issue detailing the specific tablet need that you have for us to be able to give you a call back as soon as we can. Okay? Let's see. How about we go to setting up an account? Okay, so let's talk about communication. If we go to the home screen, if you notice that there's a tablet, there's an icon called Gmail. So Gmail is an email service that allows you to set up an email account if you don't already have one, or you can also add on another Gmail account and create it on this account, on this tablet. Okay? For example, this tablet has a Kupuna email. It's called Kupuna 013. Okay? But I'll show you the steps on how to create a Gmail account if you don't have one. Okay? So if you don't have an email account set up, when you click on this screen, it'll go directly to this. So for example, when I clicked it, I already had an email set up. It didn't go to this screen right away. So if you don't have an email set up, it'll go directly to this screen, and it'll ask you what kind of email account do you have. So Gmail will allow you to link your email depending on what kind of email service you're using. So if you look at your email address, it's at gmail.com. That means you're using a Google account. Okay? If your email address is yahoo.com, then you're using a Yahoo email account. Okay? If you're using any one of these, there's a wizard that tells you how to set it up. But if you want to create a new account, so for example, I'll create a new Google Gmail account. It'll go through this little checking info process, and once it goes through, it'll ask you to start filling in information. So do you already have an existing Gmail account? Okay. If you have a Gmail account that you already have, you can put in your Gmail email right here, follow the prompts, and it'll ask you to log in with your password. When you also go through the prompts, it'll also ask you to confirm, do you want this information to be synced to the tablet? There's some privacy information. You can read through all that information. It's highly recommended you do. But mainly, all of that information is saying what they will be doing with your data and how they will be accessing the information that you have in your email services. Okay? But if you don't have any Gmail account, you can actually create one using this particular prompt. Okay. If you want to create an account for yourself, click Myself. And go ahead and put in your name. So my name is Kaylee E. And my last name, I'll put in there. Okay. You can put in your birthday, and you follow this information, put in your gender. I think it probably is required, so let me try. So I'm not going to put my actual birthday, so I'm going to put in January 1, 1970. Okay. All right. So here's an example of when you try to fill out something on an email service or any website, you'll get this kind of red alert. So this particular alert says, please select your gender. So in this particular case, and this is sort of common when you're using internet services, you'll have an alert that says, there's information that is required, but you didn't fill it out. So I guess I have to pick something. So I'll just say, prefer not to say. And then it allows me to go through. Now it'll ask me, okay, what kind of email would I want to create, right? It'll give you 2 suggestions there, but then you can also create your own email address by putting something in here that you feel that would be better for you to remember. Some of the suggestions might make sense, might be really good examples, but if you don't like any of those 2, you can put in something different. Okay, my email going to be called howsitbra@gmail.com. Now, look at this. If you choose an email address and it says a name it's already been used, that means you can't use it, right? So it looks like somebody else has howsitbra@gmail.com. Okay, so if you want to choose one of the examples, you can choose that example or customize your own. Now here is about where we're talking about passwords. The internet is very open and there's information accessible that anyone can view and retrieve. Now that also means when you go onto the internet and you start creating your own internet presence, then you start putting information out there onto the internet as well. So what we do recommend is everything that you have where you're putting personal information, such as even banking information, when you're shopping online, you're probably going to end up putting credit card information onto websites. You're going to have to put a strong password for every single one of these logins. Now, passwords have to be something that is easy for you to remember, but hard for someone else to figure out. Okay? For example, passwords could be a series of words with spaces in between and maybe a number. Passwords could be such as a sentence that you always say and probably say, like make it as like acronyms and put in some numbers as well. Just as long as it's something that makes sense to you and that is not something that is going to be easily discoverable. For example, the worst passwords to make is the word password. Don't ever use that as your password. Don't also use numbers that are consecutive. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, or even backwards. Sometimes when you try to create a password, they'll tell you, like, that password's a little bit too easy. That's probably because you're using a word or you're probably putting something in there that is kind of easily hackable, right? So that's what we're talking about hacking. Hacking is where people try to get your information without your permission. Okay. So when we create accounts and all these things, there's going to be a lot of disclaimers. There's going to be a lot of windows that pop up that say, do you approve that this thing is going to do the thing you want it to do? Okay. Just be aware that all those disclaimers, there is a lot of information for you to read. We do suggest you do read it, but go through and kind of understand generally what they're accessing on your computer, your tablet, or what kind of information they're accessing when you create accounts. Okay? So for example, for this password, I'm not going to show my password. I'm not actually going to create this email account, but I'll just show what I'll put as a password, okay? For you guys at home, if you're creating your password here, here's a button to have the password display as you type, okay? So as you can see, as I'm touching the keyboard, I'm putting symbols in, and you also can see I'm putting a capital letter, right? Okay, so now this is going to be my password. Everybody in the World Wide Web can see my email and my password, okay? I'm not going to really create this account. But, so example, here is what my password would be. It's words I know. We've got symbols, which is the hyphen or the minus on your keyboard. And then we've got numbers, okay? For the worst passwords, of course, like I said, don't put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's a bad password. And also, don't put passwords with your name in it. Right? That would be a bad password as well. Okay. So once you've created your password, you click the next, and it'll ask you to do all these prompts. It'll ask you to approve specific features and services to access on your tablet. Once you've got that email set up, then that's how you'll access information such as signing up for your doctor's appointment. Your doctor will send you links to your email. And the tablets you have will have web conferencing software installed, such as Zoom. when you get those links, you'll be able to meet with your doctor, right? So there's going to be workshops that we're going to be conducting through the Kanoa program, and we'll be sending those as email links as well. So if you guys need a guide one-on-one to help set up your email account, or if you need additional help getting your own existing email added to the tablet, give us a call again at 984-3583, and one of the interns will give you a call back and help guide you through that internet email process. Okay, let's go back. Now, some the Kupuna have been calling to figure out how to add their own personal applications onto the tablet. For any Kupuna that want to download free applications, you're free to do so. You have to set up a Play Store account, though. The Play Store icon is right here. So it's called the Play Store. That's just the name of the actual application for Google, where they look for different applications. So for example, once you've created your Google account, it'll probably sync up where you'll have an actual Play Store account created at the same time. It might do that. If it doesn't, you see when down here, it'll ask you to create a new account, and it's kind of following the same prompts as we did with the email sign up. So similar sign up service. I'm pretty sure that it does create a Google Play account at the same time when you add your email account to this tablet. But it has to be a Google account, okay? Now, if you need to download any games or software or any kind of particular apps that you need to be able to, search what you need. So now let's talk about services. Okay, so the internet is a web-wide service, but we also talk about the specific type of services. So services are created as apps. So for example, Amazon.com is a website, but Amazon also has a actually has an application that is downloadable to your tablet. So for example, we can shop at Amazon.com by going to the Google browser. All right. Similar experience. The browser might look different, right? So that's Amazon. But Amazon also has a application that you can download through the Google Play Store. Now, remember, to get a Google Play, to download apps on your tablet, you're going to have to create a Google Play account or also create a Gmail account. Now, if you already have an existing account, you can go and create an account here. So many of these applications will have an immediate prompt to ask you to sign in, add in your password, or create a new account. Now, you can go through that steps. If you want to skip it and just kind of shop on the app, I would go and skip. And now you can still kind of browse without having to create an account, okay? Similar features, a search bar, okay? A search bar horizontal with a little search icon. Type in what you're looking for. Similar features too. Okay, previously in the browser you had 3 dots on the upper right. Well, now you have 3 horizontal lines. 3 lines, three dots, kind of similar, means that it's a menu, right? If you touch that, this is the menu that brings up all the different departments within this particular app, right? And to get that particular app, you go to the Play Store, create an account, search for the app. And instead of open, it'll say download. Ooh. Okay, I guess I think that's it. Disconnected. All right. Well, we're at the end. So, any questions that you guys have, give us a call. Our interns are ready to help you. So it's my hope that you're feeling more confident in searching the internet, finding the information that you need, and looking for the services out there that is important to you. If you have any questions or difficulties using your tablet, give us a call, 984-3583. The helpline hours will be available between 9 o'clock and 4 o'clock. We'll try and call you during those hours. but make sure you do leave a message. Leave us your tablet number, your name, phone number, and the tablet issue. All right. Until next time, ahui ho, ma'alama, and mahalo for watching this Kupuna Smart session. We'll see you next week.